Hello students, welcome to the last part of the first chapter. Force. Today we are going to discuss about uniform circular motion. So let's start. When a body moves in a circular path with a constant speed, the body is said to possess uniform circular motion. So if we have a stone on any object which is tied to a string and we swing it such that the stone moves with the constant speed. In this case, the stone is said to possess uniform circular motion. The word uniform circular motion is a combination of two things, uniform and circular motion. One, because it is moving in the circular path, and second, uniform, because its speed is constant. Now, when the body is moving in a circular path, in that case, at different instant of time, it possesses different positions. As you can see, that body can be present at point 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 or 8. All these positions are known as the instantaneous positions of the body during the motion. We call them as the instantaneous positions. Why? Because body is not able to maintain its position for a fixed interval of time. For example, when body moves from point 8 to 1, the time for which it stays at point 1 is almost 0, which is also true for the other position. So, because the time it spent at a particular position during its circular motion is almost 0, we call these positions of the body as the instantaneous positions. Now, an important thing is associated with the body in the circular motion when we consider these instantaneous positions, that when body moves from one point to the another point, in that case, the direction of motion of the body is always tangent to the circle. For example, over here, when body moved from one point to another point, then its direction of motion was always tangent to the circle. When it moved to this next point, again it was tending to move tangential to the circle as indicated by the red arrow. So when in this fashion body moves in a circular path at different instantaneous positions, body possesses different direction of motion. So body tend to move in the different directions at different instantaneous positions. So although body is moving in the circular path with constant speed, but the figure or the given animation just indicated that when body is present at different instantaneous positions, its direction of motion is not same, uniform, but it keeps from one instantaneous position to the another. So body is moving with constant speed, but because its direction is changing from point to point, so it possesses a variable velocity. So in this case, when we can again make out the same point, suppose when body moves from point 1 to 2, take a look in which direction it moved. If suddenly the point of contact of the body with the center of the circular path is suddenly disappearing. For example, the black line, you can consider that it is the thread which is connecting with the pivotal point, the stone which is moving inside the circular path. So here you have seen that as soon as the body reaches at point 1, the thread breaks and stone flies away tangent to the circle along the black arrow. Or if the stone when present itself at the point 2, at that time the thread breaks, in that case the stone is again flying tangentially to the circle but along the direction of the red arrow. So we saw that at two different instantaneous positions, body may be passing through these positions with the constant speed, but when it arrives at different positions as 1 and 2 indicated, the direction of motion of the body is not the same. So in uniform circular motion, speed is constant but velocity is variable, and we know that the time rate of change of velocity gives us acceleration. So uniform circular motion is an accelerated motion, not because of the change in speed. Speed is constant, but because of the change in the direction of motion of the body from point to point along the circular path. Now, from Newton's first law of motion, we know that in the absence of any external force, a body continue to move in the straight line with uniform velocity. So, if no external force is acting onto the body will keep on moving in the same direction with the same speed. So, it will possess zero acceleration. But we just saw in the last animation that in the circular path, body was moving with the constant speed, but its direction of motion was changing from point to point. So, this thing indicated that there must be some external force acting onto the body which is helping the body to change its direction of motion from one point to the another point and helping it to move not along a straight line but to move along a circular path. So, for example, in this animation, as soon as an external force acts, the body changes its direction of motion. So, this indicates that whereas the straight line motion does not require any external force because it will help the body to move along the same straight line in the same direction without any external force, but for making a body to move in a circular path, an external force is a must which helps the body to change its direction of motion from one point to the another point. So, in this case, when body moves from one point to the another point at different instantaneous positions, its direction is different. So, it must be acted upon by some external force which is helping the body to move along the circular path. So, an external force is acting onto the body, and this external force which acts onto the body at each point of the circular path, it has an important property that it must be acting towards the center of the circular path, so that it must always be pushing the body towards the center of the circle so that body can keep itself moving along the circumference of the circle. And this force which is acting towards the center of the circle, helping it to move along circular path, is called as the centripetal force. We call this force acting towards the center of the circle as centripetal force. The word centripetal means center seeking. That means a force which is acting along the radius of the circle but acting towards the center. Also, from Newton's second law, F is equal to ma, and Newton's second law says that whenever any force acts onto a body, it always has some acceleration. So, that's again we verified that uniform circular motion is an accelerated motion. But mind you, this acceleration is variable in nature. This acceleration is not constant. Reason? Change of direction. So, if you look at the first point, the direction of force is vertically downward. So, direction of acceleration is also vertically downward. But when body moves to the point number 2, the direction of force as well as direction of acceleration is acting towards the left side. But at point number 3, force and acceleration are directed vertically upward, but at point number 4, they are directed towards the right side. So, as body changes its position along the circular path, the direction of this centripetal force as well as acceleration changes, which we call as the centripetal acceleration. So, due to this change in the direction, the acceleration is not constant but variable in nature. So, centripetal force, we can define it as the force acting onto the body, acting towards the center of the circle in which body is moving. And this centripetal force, in its formula is F is equal to mv square over r, where m is the mass of the body rotating in the circle, v is its speed, and r is the radius of circle. Because force is inversely proportional to radius, so smaller the radius of the circular path, more fast it is going to rotate inside the circle. Some examples: electrons moving around the nucleus. When electrons move around the nucleus, some force must be helping the electrons to always keep moving around the nucleus in the circular path, and that force is the electrostatic force of attraction between electron and the nucleus. We know that nucleus is positive charge, electrons are negative charge, so nucleus always keeps on pulling the electrons towards itself with the help of electrostatic force. So this electrostatic force is acting like a centripetal force, helping them to move around the circular path. A planet moving around the sun in a circular path. Same thing is also over here. Only difference that sun is applying strong gravitational force of attraction onto the planet and is trying to pull the planet towards itself. So this gravitational force of attraction acting on planet due to sun is behaving like centripetal force and helping it to move around the sun in a circular path. Moon also does the same thing. Earth applies gravitational force of attraction onto the moon and is trying to pull the moon towards itself. So this moon is experiencing the centripetal force which is helping it to move around the circular path. If you tie a stone to a thread or a string and you swing it in a circular path, the thread or the string will develop a force which we know that is known as the tension. So that tension is directed from the stone towards the hand of the person who is swinging it in the circular path. So this tension which is acting from stone towards the hand, that is towards the center of the circular path, is acting like a centripetal force and helping it to move in a circular path. But if you actually try to do this simple activity, that you tie some object with the heavy object with the thread and try to swing it in the circular path, you will experience the more fast you rotate, more stronger pinching force will act onto your fingers with the help of the thread. Or more fast you are going to rotate the object, your hand is going to be pushed in the direction of the object which is being swung in the circular path. This thing indicates that along with the centripetal force, there is another force which is present in this example. We call that force as the centrifugal force. In the Newton's third law, we have already studied that forces never occur in isolation. They always occur in pair. So in this case also, in circular motion, one force we have seen responsible for making the body to move in circular path. Its counterpart is centrifugal force. Centripetal acts towards the center of the circle along the radius. This force acts onto the body away from the center of the circle in which body is moving. We call it as centrifugal force. The word centrifugal, fugal means away from the center of the circular path. Because its magnitude is same as that of centripetal, so its expression is also F equal to mv square over r. But one thing, it is not a real force. We call it as a virtual or a fictitious force. It is not a real force. Centripetal is a real force. Reason, those forces are called real forces whose origin is known. Origin means which object or which body is applying these forces onto some other. We know the cause of that. For example, in case of electrons moving around the nucleus, it is the electrostatic force of attraction between the electron and the nucleus which is making the electrons to move in the circular path. But what is the cause or the generating point of the centrifugal force? That is not known to us. We can understand quite simply from few of the examples. For example, when you tie the stone with a thread and swing it fast, stone is acted upon by the centripetal force which is arising due to the tension present in the thread, and tension is directed from stone towards your hand. So that is keeping the stone to move in the circular path. But if you move it more faster and faster, you can also experience or feel your hand being pushed away towards the location of the stone. So which force is responsible for pushing your hand towards the location of the stone opposite to the direction of the centripetal force? That is not known to us. This force is the centrifugal force, but who is applying that? That is not known to us. So because of this force is called as a virtual or a fictitious force. So in this case, when we suspend any object with the help of the thread, weight is acting downward, tension is produced in the vertically upward direction. So in this case, when the object is moving in a circular path, we can see the tension is always directed from the location of stone towards the pivotal point. So that is providing centripetal force, but centrifugal force is acting from the location of pivotal point towards the stone. Thank you very much for watching. We will meet next time with the new chapter, machines.